All right, 7th graders, this is chapter 7, 7.1, writing expressions and equations. So if you guys would open up your books to page 337. Let me see if I can find my pen here. Okay, verbal model. Verbal model, it takes algebra or problems and it puts it in words. Words are used to maybe express a problem, and then your job is to change the words into symbols and letters and numbers and that kind of stuff. So on page, I didn't write it, but on page 337, I want you to write the table of words there that mean addition, subtraction. You'll see there's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Like addition, the first word is plus. This one might even be minus. Okay, product, times. Okay, and I have a list of words that I want you to get from me. Would you get a copy of words that mean to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? And I have a big long list, and it's great if you run into a story problem and you're not sure whether it means like more than, or the difference of, or divided by, all of those. And there's some really interesting ones that mean to add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So make sure you get that. Write the table right now, even though I know it's not a key concept box. I want you to write that for me. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to translate verbal phrases. So a verbal phrase is something in words. So a number increased by 5. So if you increase something by 5, you add 5 to it. And we don't know what the number is, so we use an unknown. So it would be just x plus 5. 7 less than a number. Now we so want to write things the way we read them, but 7 less than a number means we're going to take 7 away from something. So it has to be x minus 7. And a lot of people want to write it 7 minus x, but those are not the same. There is not a commutative property of subtraction. So subtraction ones, you got to make sure you get them in the right order. Now some of them are double. 3 more than twice a number. So 3 more than twice a number, meaning you take a number times 2. And notice they have it written that there is an addition property, so you can change the order on those. 4 decreased by the quotient of a number and 7. So 4 is being decreased by the quotient of a number and 7. And I always write quotient problems, division problems as fractions. And they might, yep, they did too. Okay, so 16 increased by a number is 27. So now we're going to talk about sentence. Actually, let's go back. These are phrases. They're phrases because there's more than one answer you can put in for the x. If I tell you put in 3 for the x, put in 4, put in 5, you could come up with that many different answers. Now we're going to do sentences. Sentences in math have equal signs. So this means we're going to have equations. And that's this word is. Is usually means to put the equals. So 16 increased by a number, so 16 plus x increased is 27. So equals 27. And they're using y unless they tell you, you don't have to use a certain letter. The difference of twice a number and 3. So twice a number and 3, and when the word difference is used, you write it just in the order it's given, equals -4, and it has to be written that way. And they already have the next one. -3 is equal to twice the sum of a number and 2. The sum means you have to add it first. That's why they put parentheses. So twice the sum, so that's why you had to have the parentheses. These are a little tricky. The product of 1/2 and a number is 36. So 1/2 x equals 36. And these are hard because you can really feel like you're doing them the right way and miss every single one of them. So write the verbal phrase or sentence as a variable expression or equation. Let n represent the number. All right, so 14 added to a number, 14 plus n, or n plus 14. 22 less than half of a number. So we have to do half of a number first, minus 22. 44 divided by a number, or 42, excuse me, divided by n equals 7. 5 minus, we just put that twice a number, is 17. That one was said just the way it was given. Okay, example 3, caves. You're exploring a cave in which rock formations called stalagmites grow up from the cave floor. The tour guide tells you that the tallest stalagmite in the cave is underwater in a pool 55 feet deep, and the distance between the tip of the stalagmite and the surface of the water is 41 feet. How tall is the stalagmite? So it's sometimes best to draw a picture. So here is the picture, and it says the height of the stalagmite is, the difference from the tip. You can see that the H is what we're trying to find. So we're just going to take, and there's a couple of ways to write it. I would write it 55. Ooh, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Let's get rid of that. I would write it 55 minus 41 equals H. But I think the book does H plus 41 equals 55. And you can see that it does equal it. If you come over here, this plus this equals that. So there's a couple of ways to write it. And then they have you solve it. Sorry, I didn't solve it. Let's see. Feet. While hiking, you descend 2,000 feet from the start of a trail to an elevation of 5,200 feet. Write and solve an equation to find the elevation at the start of the trail. Well, you went down 2,000 feet and you ended up at 5,200. So you are at a certain level minus 2,000 equals 5,200. Well, you have to have a number bigger, so you add 2,000, so you are at 7,200 feet to start with. Okay, so take some time, write those out. Just remember, it gets confusing sometimes with the subtraction and the division, so don't get discouraged. These are hard. Some of them are hard, so ask me if you have questions. We'll see you next time.